So we're still on the issue of marriage, and in my last video I was talking about the things you need to evaluate to mitigate some of the risks that have to do with marriage. The main risk being that you don't know this person, is someone you met and you come from different backgrounds and all that, and you're not really sure. What guarantees do you have that this thing will last a lifetime and not break off? There will be no major issues that you have to confront and will lead to a dissolution of the marriage. That's the question. And we spoke about 3 questions that we need to ask. If you haven't watched that video, please find it and watch it. Today we're going to take that discussion a little further and talk about marriage proposals. Now, marriage proposals are beautiful. I've seen all sorts, from the ordinary to the extraordinary to the downright bizarre. There are all kinds of marriage proposals, and I'm sure you've seen one or two. But whatever type of marriage proposal it is, what the guy is asking is, will you marry me? Will you marry me, Sarah? Will you marry me, BC? Will you marry me, Angela? The question is, will you marry me? And then everybody around starts shouting, say yes, say yes, say yes. And they're bringing out their cameras and trying to video you. And then the woman says yes, and everybody's happy. And the question is, what are you saying yes to as a woman? He's asking, will you marry me? And you are saying yes. What are you saying yes to? What does that marriage imply? Let's get right into it. But before we go ahead, have you subscribed to my channel? Can I ask you why you haven't subscribed to my channel? Okay, just take a moment, click that bell button below and subscribe so that you don't miss any of my videos when they come up. Right, let's go back to our discussion. The very first thing a man is asking when he asks, will you marry me, is, will you live under my leadership? And when you say yes, as a woman, what you're saying is, yes, I will live under your leadership. My question is, do you know his leadership style? Are you okay with his leadership style? The second question a man is asking when he says, will you marry me, is, will you share my identity? So the thing is, no matter how you choose to slice it, you are sharing part of the man's identity. You will be known as his wife. So somebody will say, oh, this is Michael's wife. This is Bode's wife. This is Chukwu Emeka's wife. You have become his wife. You share his identity with him. So in most parts of the world, especially here in Nigeria, you actually take on his surname. You become Mrs. Thomas, or you go from being Miss Krager, like I was, to Mrs. Fagbeja, like I have been for the past 20 years. And so you're sharing his identity. Some even take it a step further and they're like, oh no, you won't just be Mrs. Thomas. You will be Mrs. Bode Thomas. So you become Mrs. Sarah Bode Thomas. So you're not just a Thomas, you are the wife of Bode Thomas. So nobody's going to ask, oh, which of the Thomases? Immediately they hear that name, they're going to know that, oh, it's Bode Thomas. They immediately know that. And so you're sharing his identity, you're sharing his reputation, you're taking on part of it. The question is his identity worth sharing? Are you okay with the reputation that he has? Do you want to be a part of that? Only you can answer that question. The third question a man is asking is, will you be the mother of my children? Will you parent with me? Will you have children with me? And when you say yes, you're saying, yes, I will parent with you. Yes, I will be the mother of the children you father. Question, what is his fatherhood style? Are you okay with it? Can you co-parent with him? Do you share the same values about parenting? Only you can answer that. The fourth question is, will you run my household or will you manage my household? Because you can go anywhere in the world, everywhere. It's mostly a woman who manages or runs the household. Even if she's not doing it directly, she's the one in charge of who does what most of the time in the house. Yeah, they can do it together. She can seek his opinion, but usually it's under the woman's purview. Slice it, check it, find it. In the most feminist of countries, most of the time it's the woman who is running that household. So he's asking, will you run my household? Will you manage my household? So my question is, first of all, does he have a household for you to manage? Or are you going to be managing your household? What are his thoughts about running a household? Do you share similar ideas? Or are you going to be a slave in that household? Are you going to really be running a household, or are you just going to be enslaved in that household? Only you can answer that. And the last question is, will you co-pilot with me on this journey of life? And my very simple question for that is, where are you going? Where am I co-piloting with you to? Okay, yeah, the pilot, I'm co-piloting with you. Where's our destination? I have to know where I'm going to land. So if I had no plans of landing where you're going, then our destinations are different. We can't be co-piloting together. That's the simple answer. But if you're going in the same direction, then yeah, sure, co-pilot with him. But if you're not, then you may need to reevaluate. So before you say yes, understand what you're saying yes to. You're saying, yes, I agree to live under your leadership. You're saying, yes, I agree to share your identity. You're saying, yes, I agree to be the mother of the children that you father. You're saying, yes, I agree to run and manage your household. Yes, I agree to co-pilot this journey with you to the destination that you're going. Think about it that way. And if your answer is still yes, then go ahead. But if it's not, maybe you need to reevaluate before you say I do. Tell me your thoughts about this topic in the comments below. And in case you haven't heard, I'm putting together a program in the city of Ibadan, Nigeria for women on the 30th of November. It's called Behind Closed Doors. It's an intimate session for a few women who will be privileged to be in the room with me and a guest speaker. And this edition is focused on marriage transformation. So it's targeted at married women who are having challenges in their marriage and are seeking a transformation. They're committed to finding a transformation in their marriages, but they don't know how to. That sounds like you or somebody you know. Fill the form in the description below and don't forget to watch my next video. Ciao!